On Global TV News Prime, Nigerian government files fresh charges against ex-AGF, Malami and Son. In business, Petroleum Ministry launches content management system. On the foreign scene, Libya's Army Chief of Staff dies in Turkey airplane accident. And in sport, Nigeria off to winning start, edge Tanzania 2-1 in AFCON opener. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, and on StarTimes, channel 276. And now the news in details. In a key step towards approving Nigeria's next year national spending, the Senate has passed President Bola Tinubu's 58.47 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill for second reading. Our National Assembly correspondent Topsy Gimba has details.
The passage followed a lead debate by Okoyemi Bamidele as the Senate leader who sponsored the bill titled A Bill for an Act to Authorize the Issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 58.47 trillion naira for the services of the Federation for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The 2026 budget is therefore not an experimental document. It is a budget of consolidation, consolidating reforms already undertaken, stabilizing key economic indicators, and accelerating growth through targeted public investment.
Bamidele described the budget as one of the consolidation, building on the administration's reform to stabilize the economy and bolster public finances. During contributions, fellow senators called on the Appropriations Committee to conduct rigorous scrutiny.
President, defense appears to have the largest share, and that is the mindset of this administration: to secure us, protect us, and of course, our armed forces and other security agencies.
This budget, which is earmarked at 58.4 trillion naira, is remarkable because the four main things which Mr. President has set out to achieve: number one, which is extremely fundamental, lives and property.
That they understand that this money be appropriated is meant to ensure prudent procurement, appropriate remuneration, and ratio payment to our men and women in uniform who are taking
review.
A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 58 trillion 472 billion 628 million, second reading taken. This bill is now committed to the Committee on Appropriation to revert to the Senate in 1 month.
Senator Goza Pabio, Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The Nigerian government has instituted fresh money laundering charges against former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and his son Abubakar Abdulaziz Malami over alleged financial transactions exceeding 1 billion naira. The 16-count charge filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as the complainant, with Hajia Bashir Asabe named as a co-defendant. According to court document, the defendants are accused of handling, transferring, and concealing funds suspected to be proceeds of unlawful activities. Southern Nigerian communities resident in Kano State have pledged to support the state government in sustaining security, peace, and development. The assurance was given at a stakeholders dialogue involving leaders of the South and the Southeast communities in the state. Global Television correspondent Idris Jibrin has the details.
Concerned about the need to strengthen security and social harmony, leaders of southern Nigerian communities gathered in Kano to deliberate on ways of promoting peace and unity. The stakeholders dialogue organized by the Kano State Ministry of Information and Internal Affairs focused on fostering collaboration among residents, regardless of ethnic or religious background.
All things that are natural, that will not in any way have monopoly over that. So it's high time We buy this kind of substances, we set aside, we save them aside, understand ourselves, and try to project what the relationship within ourselves with one picture, that is humanity, that's actually tying us together. Unfortunately, any other things done is secondary as far as humanity is concerned.
The Commissioner of Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Waya, said government has intensified efforts to tackle recent security challenges recorded in some parts of Kano, urging leaders of the South and Southeast communities to help counter rumors and misinformation portraying Kano as unsafe. He warned that the spread of false information could heighten tension and misunderstanding.
The best way we can forge ahead is for us to keep them aside, embrace common thing among us, that is humanity, so that we can forge ahead. You have a duty to make Kano a heaven, because this is your heaven. Where you live with your family, where you should live is another thing. And you want to make where you're living more comfortable than where your original thing is.
Speaking on behalf of the delegation, the chairman of the Edo community in Kano, Chief Fred Akive, reaffirmed the community's commitment to peace and security, noting that members of the southern communities are living harmoniously in Kano and are ready to work closely with government authorities and security agencies to safeguard lives and property.
The matter of security is a concern for all of us. And because we are recalled here now to be addressed to, because when we started hearings, skirmishes from the borders, fears came into us. But all of a sudden, the government went into the matter and calm was restored. I will pray. God Almighty will restore peace in Kano and Nigeria in general, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Participants at the meeting emphasized the need for unity, mutual understanding, and peaceful coexistence for sustainable development as Kano continues to promote peace and inclusiveness. From Kano, Idris Jubrin, Global Television News.
The crisis in the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has deepened as two senators from Rivers State have defected to the All Progressive Congress (APC). Senator Allwell Onyeso and Birinada Nkpigi has formally announced their defection on the floor of the Senate today during the plenary. Our National Assembly correspondent Topsy Gimba has more.
Senator Nyeso, representing River East, cited wide consultations with stakeholders and irreconcilable PDP divisions. Senator Mpigi from Rivers Southeast pointed to the party's unresolved crisis at all levels, invoking constitutional provision. Both lawmakers thanked PDP for their platform, but said persistent factional disputes made membership impossible, stressing the need to align with the federal government to serve constituents better.
Senator Orwell Onyeso, I write to officially announce my defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. This decision is coming on the heels of several consultations with Rivers East Senatorial District people, whose collective aspirations I represent, and several other stakeholders to ensure the effective representation of Rivers East Senatorial District people in the red chambers.
A high-powered APC delegation, including the National Secretary South-South, Vice Chairman, Deputy National Chairman North, National Youth Leader, and Rivers State Chairman were all in hand to receive them, hailing the move as a boost to APC's influence in the South-South ahead of 2027 election. These bolster APC's numbers in the red chamber, while PDP grapples with more internal schisms. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
Let's now head to Benue State, where Governor Hyacinth Alia has presented the 2026 appropriation bill to the State House of Assembly titled Budget on Rural Development, Livelihood and Support and Sustained Growth for Security and Approval. Governor Alia made the presentation at the newly renovated Assembly Complex in Makurdi. Our correspondent Felicity Nderi has more.
Members of the House, Governor Alia explained that the 2026 budget is a deliberate strategy aimed at repositioning the state's economy and to improve the living standards of the people of the state. He described the budget as a practical roadmap to inclusive growth, stressing that economic progress must translate into better living conditions for ordinary households.
This budget is structured to drive practical improvement in the lives of ordinary people, particularly those in rural communities.
Breaking down the figures, the governor disclosed that 281.1 billion, representing 46.4%, is allocated to recurrent expenditure, while 342.4 billion, representing 54%, is earmarked for capital projects.
This budget speaks to our collective hope. It speaks to our resilience. And above all, it speaks to our determination to build a peaceful, prosperous, and inclusive Benue State.
The Speaker expressed optimism that the 2026 budget would build on the accomplishments while introducing new projects to further develop Benue State, and assured the governor of the House commitment for a speedy review and passage of the budget in the interest of the state.
Let me therefore quickly commend your leadership and demonstration of a shared commitment to the welfare of the people of Benue. And we are eager to study it, provide our input, and work together to ensure its successful passage and implementation.
The Assembly is expected to commence detailed consideration of the 2026 budget in the coming days as stakeholders look to the proposal to drive development and economic stability in Benue State. From the complex of the Benue State House of Assembly, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global Television News.
Now, the cost of transportation in Nigeria has significantly increased ahead of the Christmas festivities, leaving many travelers with a heavy financial burden. Our correspondent Nafisa Baba visited Jabi Motor Park and now reports.
As the Christmas season approaches, many celebrants are preparing to embark on journeys to spend the holidays with loved ones. However, the cost of transportation is telling on the travelers as the fares have risen astronomically.
Actually, it's a lot, and it's very discouraging to even want to travel, because last time we checked the news, fuel has actually even come down, but yet during December it's always inflating every damn time. As of last week it was 18,000 naira, now it is 20,000 naira, so by next week it will be 24,000. So people are discouraged to even travel.
Several factors are contributing to the fare increases. They include high cost of fuel, wear and tear on vehicles, and the high demands for transportation during the Christmas season.
The challenge that we are facing on road is paining us, so we beg for government to help us and put more efforts with about the security for us for road.
That Lokoja road, it affects us. We don't see road to pass. Understand? Some drivers that live here since day before yesterday, they are still there up till now. They do not see way to pass.
The increased cost of transportation is likely to have a significant impact on travelers. Many will have to dig deeper into their pocket to secure a seat on buses or plane, while others may be forced to reconsider their travel plans.
Things are getting expensive during this festive period. We just hope
the cost of transportation is just one of the many expenses that come with traveling during the Christmas season. As travelers prepare for their journeys, it is essential to plan ahead, research options, and budget accordingly. Nafisa Baba, Global Television News.
As Christmas draws near, homes, streets, and public spaces across Nigeria are being transformed with vibrant decorations. From sparkling lights to festive ornaments, Christmas deco adds color and joy to the holiday season. Saadatu Garba completes the report.
Christmas decorations have become a central part of holiday celebrations in Nigeria. Across cities and towns, businesses, public institutions, and homes are investing in colorful lights, Christmas trees, and festive ornaments to create a cheerful atmosphere. In residential areas, families take pride in decorating their homes with lights strung across windows, balconies, and gardens. Many households also display Christmas trees adorned with baubles, tinsels, and sparkling lights, creating photo-worthy scenes that attract visitors and neighbors.
Christmas decoration, I think it reminds everybody that it's actually really Christmas. It adds color and it makes the whole celebration a little bit more exciting.
Shopping malls, hotels, and commercial centers have also embraced the festive spirit. Giant Christmas trees, themed displays, and decorative lighting enhance the shopping experience, drawing in customers and creating lively environments for families and friends. Community centers and public spaces are not left out. Local governments and organizations often organize decoration contests, street light events, and festive exhibitions, fostering community engagement and cultural celebration.
Sometimes the way the lightning, somehow when you see the light, it gives you that memory that this is Christmas.
Retailers in the decoration business report a surge in demand for ornaments, lights, and seasonal decor items, reflecting the popularity of festive decorations among Nigerians. From traditional themes to modern and digital light displays, the diversity in decor options continue to grow.
Christmas decoration is good for house, for market. As person, if you do decoration for somewhere, it making everywhere beauty, smile. If another person see it, he can do it for his house.
Christmas decorations do more than brighten homes and streets. They bring people together, inspire creativity, and spread joy across communities. As the holiday season unfolds, the sparkling lights and colorful ornaments remind everyone of the festive spirit that defines Christmas. Sarah Tugarba for Global Television.
President Bola Tinubu presented the 2026 budget proposal of 58.18 trillion naira to a joint session of the National Assembly on Friday, unveiling a fiscal plan centered on national renewal and stability. The budget, guided by the administration's Renewed Hope agenda, lays emphasis on 4 critical pillars: security, education, health, and infrastructure. Global Television correspondent Zara Unasir got the view of some Nigerians on the proposed budget, especially as it affects security, taking the larger share.
The Nigerian government's 2026 proposal allocates the largest share to the security sector, and the primary advantage cited is the establishment of a secure environment necessary for socio-economic and political development.
In the 2026 budget, defense and security received the largest single allocation, amounting to 5.41 trillion naira. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu stressed that security remains the bedrock of economic growth and social cohesion. According to him, the administration has earmarked on a comprehensive overhaul of Nigeria's national security architecture, emphasizing modernization, intelligence-driven operations, and the adoption of technology-enabled surveillance. In an interview with some Nigerians in Abuja, they described it as a welcome development and advised the president to ensure full implementation.
My advice is that, Mr. President, I think he said they are going to repeal the 2024 and 2025. So by March, they will be able to fund that, and that will come to an end so that the 2026 budget will be fully.
For me, giving the security the lion's share or the biggest share is okay, but accountability matters a lot in that situation.
Mr. President, 2024 budget, how do we implement it? 2025 budget, how do we implement it? Now, we are now presenting 54.18 trillion budget. In this country, we are giving 4.something trillion to security, whereas we don't have security.
The problem is the money getting to the source, and the problem is the use of the money for what it's meant for. Well, if they use it properly for what it's meant for, we will not have problem.
The president highlighted that the budget includes funding to strengthen the armed forces, expand personnel capacity, and procure advanced platforms and hardware to confront modern security threats.
Zahra Nasr, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Libya's Army Chief of Staff dies in Turkey airplane accident. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories. On the other side of this break, please stay with us. You're welcome back from that break. And in business, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokbebere, has launched its Enterprise Content Management System, ESMS, marking a significant shift in how work is organized, records are managed, and decisions are supported. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, has...
At the launch, which took place at the ministry, the minister said the initiative strengthens the effectiveness of public service, enabling fast work processes, secure record management, and reduce reliance on paper. He added that ministry occupies a critical position in national development with responsibilities for policy formulation, coordination, and oversight oil and gas sector. Hence, the ECMS efficiency directly impacts revenue generation, investment confidence, and national planning. The ECMS, according to him, is deployed on the OneGov cloud platform, enabling electronic approvals, automated workflows across government sectors.
And so when you are appointed head of service, I know, and I'll talk with some colleagues, that the civil service will begin to see the changes that it requires.
Head of Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Wilson, noted that digital transformation is a continuous process requiring consistent use, adherence to established processes, and sustained digital discipline which aligns with the ongoing public service reforms.
For a ministry that plays a strategic role in Nigeria's economic stability and energy security, this milestone is both timely and significant. The Ministry of Petroleum Resources occupies a critical position in national development with responsibility for policy formulation, coordination, and oversight in the oil and gas sector.
The launch of the ECMS is part of the effort to comply with the federal government's directive on the full digitalization of work processes by December 31st, 2025, and advances Pillar 5 of the Federal Civil Service Strategies and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
Now, as the Christmas season draws closer, marketers across the country are witnessing a sharp increase in the sale of consumable animals, from poultry to livestock. Rising demand, driven by festive tradition, is pushing prices beyond the reach of many consumers. Global Television correspondent Sadia Yakubu examines the reason behind the high cost of consumable animals and how it is affecting both buyers and sellers.
Scenes like these have become common as we celebrate Christmas. Livestock markets are crowded, poultry stalls are flowing with buyers, and long queues form at butcher's shop. Clear sign that the festive season has entered its peak. Chickens, turkeys, ducks, goats, sheep, cattle, and pigs are in high demand as family prepares for Christmas celebration. For many households, a festive meal is considered incomplete without meat on the table.
Also, the challenges now is period Christmas time, challenge money no day.
Traders say the surge in demand comes with a sharp rise in prices. Transportation costs, limited supply, and increased feed prices have all contributed to the high cost of consumable animals. Poultry sales move fastest, while larger animals such as goats, sheep, and cattle are mostly purchased by families, religious bodies, and event organizers. Despite the high prices, the season remains economically significant. Farmers, transporters, veterinarians, feed suppliers, and market vendors all benefit from the increased activity. For many rural farmers, Christmas sales account for a large share of their annual income.
11,000 and so on and so forth. But unlike before, you can easily get... I don't like beef quite alright, but I prefer ram meat.
However, the seasonal rush is not without challenges. Many consumers complain that prices are unusually high this year, forcing them to buy smaller quantities or abandon long-held Christmas traditions.
Like last year, now buying a chicken was about, though it was expensive, but not like this year.
Health authorities are advising the public to exercise caution, urging consumers to purchase animals and meat only from certified and inspected sources. They warn that poor hygiene and improper storage during the festive rush could increase the risk of foodborne diseases. As families prepare for Christmas celebrations, experts recommend early planning, responsible purchasing, and avoiding panic buying. They also stress the importance of ensuring animals are properly sourced, handled, and processed. While the Christmas season lasts only a few weeks or few days, its impacts on the consumable animal market, especially rising prices, continue to affect farmers, traders, and consumers long after the celebration ends. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
On the foreign scene, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has shared his Christmas message via a pre-recorded video from the Downing Street, acknowledging that some people, such as NHS staff, emergency service and members of the armed forces may be working on Christmas, offering them what he has termed a big thank you for doing their bit to care for the nation and to keep the British people safe. The Prime Minister's message comes at the end of a difficult year for his government, with economic growth stuttering and criticism over the tax rises in the budget. Our correspondent Uyi Agmawafwegwe has the rest of the story.
Keir Starmer also urged members of the public to each do their bit to reach out to friends, relatives, and neighbors during the festive period. The Prime Minister has acknowledged Britain's cost of living struggles in his Christmas message, vowing that helping with the issue is his priority.
It's a truly special time of year, and it's a time to remind ourselves what's really important. Family, friends, community. It's a time to celebrate the Christmas story and to cherish the Christian values that define it. Peace, charity, and goodwill to all. That is the promise of the season.
He thanked NHS workers along with members of the military and the emergency services who will be on duty on Christmas Day. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
Libya's Prime Minister says Chief of Staff of the country's army and other military officials have been killed in an airplane accident in Turkey after visiting Ankara. Prime Minister Abdulhamid Dibda announced it in a Facebook page. Our correspondent Zara Unasir reports.
Biba described their deaths as a tragic loss, noting that Libya has lost men who served the country with loyalty and dedication, stating that they were examples of discipline, responsibility, and the national commitment. He also said other senior military officials and photographer were also on board the plane. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yelekaya said his country's forces had found the wreckage of the plane, which crashed shortly after taking off from Ankara. Haddad had been the army's chief of general staff since August 2020 and was appointed by then Prime Minister Fayez al-Sarraj. Zahra Nasser reporting for Global TV News.
And now to the exciting world of sport. Nigeria kicked off their 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON campaign with a sling 2-1 victory over Tanzania, courtesy of Semi Ajayi and Ademola Lookman. The Super Eagles started strongly with Victor Osimhen and Lookman causing early problems for the Tanzanian defense. Nigeria's first real chance came in the 11th minute when Chukwueze's corner found Akwa Adams, whose shot was saved by the Tanzanian goalkeeper. That's it on News Prime. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim. Saying a very big thank you for watching.